Hello, I am Danielle, or Danny, if you want to call me Danny. I created the group, the Alchemy of Awakening with my daughters, okay? And I thought I'd just pop on and do a really quick read. I've already pulled some cards, already done all the essentials, so yeah, let's just get into it because it's all 3 in the morning, 3:30. So we got the unicorn. The unicorn symbolises purity, divine grace, and the pursuit of higher ideals. Dreaming of a unicorn suggests a connection with your sacred, idealistic self. It represents your quest for beauty, truth, and spiritual aspirations. The unicorn encourages you to stay true to your highest vision despite the challenges of reality. So yeah, this is just saying that you could have dreams. You could have had a dream of a unicorn, okay? It's calling you to basically stay pure, stay within the parameters of purity that you have built for yourself, because we all slip into the dark, and there's nothing wrong with the dark, but if you're a light being, you want to stay in the light. Idealistic self, right? So yeah, again, you've built an ideal self and you want to embody that self, okay? Because if you put out to the world that you're this, that, and the other, and then you go out there and you do this, that, and the other, but it's not matching, it's completely different, you might face some problems, okay? But even in light of those problems, despite the challenges of your reality, like the card says, you will be absolutely fine, okay? Just remain calm, remain peaceful, remain in your light, okay? Then we've got the mirror. I'm sorry, I'm not used to recording my readings. Usually I do them on a voice recorder, so I keep looking at the screen rather than looking at the camera. So I do apologise. But anyway, cracking on. Mirror. Mirror represents self-reflection and truth. Dreaming of a mirror suggests you are confronting your true nature, or you overlooked aspects of yourself. It reveals truth you may not want to see, encouraging authenticity. The dream reminds you to look inward. An honest reflection leads you to clarity and growth. So this card is just saying, first of all, you could have dreamed of a mirror, but it doesn't necessarily mean you have to have dreamt of a mirror. You could have looked in a mirror and started self-reflecting on some of the behaviours that you've noticed about yourself. Sorry, I'm doing it again. So yeah, it's saying, it's encouraging you to stay authentic, okay? And to stay authentic, you've got to be true, not to just the world around you and the people around you, but you have to be true to yourself. That's the most important thing, because if you're not true and authentic to yourself, the universe does not listen, and I can't stress that enough. You can go out there and say what you want, do what you want, act how you want, but your vibration, your frequency will speak to the universe before your mouth and your bodily movements will. And I say that in the kindest way, because I'm not on here trying to be mean, but when it comes to readings, you have to be honest. They're not all about other people. Sometimes it's a message for you to, just to say, look, hey, maybe you want to look at this and maybe you want to look at that, okay? You could have been contemplating church. You might have gone to church recently. You might be lighting candles and sitting with candles, just reflecting on your life, basically, your behaviours again. So you've started reflecting on some aspects of yourself that you've been probably covering up, hiding, or just simply just not acknowledging them. Anyway, then we've got the wolf. The wolf, the leader of the forest, represents strength in solitude and deep intuition. It appears in your dreams as a reminder from your subconscious to rely on your instincts and inner leadership when facing challenges. You might be on the verge of transformation, and the wolf invites you to take that step forwards. That step forward, sorry. My eyes are bugging. It does not say forward, it says toward. Take that step toward the unknown. Finding power in solitude. So, again, I'm just going to point out why every single card is saying you might be dreaming this, you might be dreaming that. It's the mystical dream deck, okay? So again, you could have been dreaming of a wolf, but it's not. It's not the most important aspect of the reading, basically. The wolf is the leader of the forest, okay? And you know, sometimes to be a leader, you've got to do it on your own. You've got to walk on your own. And it says the leader of the forest represents strength in solitude and deep intuition. So basically, it's calling for you to not isolation, because it's different, okay? Isolation and solitude are different. Isolation is, people might disagree, but isolated is when you get put in detention, you're in isolation, okay? Whereas solitude is chosen. Solitude is where you choose to put yourself for a certain period of time, and there's no time cap or time expectation about how long you can be in solitude. You can be in solitude for 5 to 10 years, you know, and then you just come back out. Great, you know, doing deep inner work, and deep intuition. So you might get most of your creativity from solitude. Okay, you might get drops in solitude. I actually do a lot of solitude, because I can't do the chaos. I can't do the chaos and the noise of the world. So for me to really tap into my creative gifts, I have to go into solitude and sit with my intuition. I have to meditate as well. So you might want to meditate. Moving on. Yeah. So when you are, a lot of people are into dream decoding, sorry, and a lot of people see dream decoding as feeding the fears, whereas a lot of the time, dreaming is subconscious leaks into the dream state, okay? So these can be noise that you've picked up throughout your working day, your living day, your mom day, your dad day, whatever. Or it could be embedded fears and worries that seep out into them dreams, okay? And then your dream will leak it to you in a dream because it's the only time that you're present. You're present in dreams, even though you don't think that you are, but you are. That's why if you're gifted, and every human's gifted, I like to use the term tapped in, because you know that just involves everybody, but it's a select few that choose to do that. A few select people choose to tap in. So when you tap in and you live in a consciously clean lifestyle, you remember your dreams daily, but you wake up remembering your dreams, everything. Like, I don't want to go too deep into what you can remember, but there's more than just dreams, okay, is what I'm getting at. There's lucid dream walking, there's lucid dreaming, there's astral travel, you know, all them things, okay? So yeah, it's saying that you might be on the verge of a transformation. So if you're doing the work and you're doing the steps and you're doing it with authenticity, okay, yeah, that was this one. If you're doing the work like a unicorn with authenticity and pure light, you'll have a transformation, but it'll be a good transformation, because transformations can be good or bad. Again, you know, laws of polarity. Yeah, it's telling you to take a step forward toward the unknown, or maybe because I keep saying the word forward, maybe you have to put that first foot forward. Okay, you have to put the first foot forward into the unknown. for it to be known, if that makes sense. You will find your power in solitude. If you're having trouble tapping into these gifts, solitude is the best thing I could ever recommend to anybody, and that is literally what it's calling you to do. Okay, so sit in solitude, get creative in solitude, expand and transform in solitude. Then we've got fear. Fear often reflects unresolved issues or inner shadows in your subconscious. I literally just said that. Yeah, so if fear appears in your dream, it's not a sign of something to avoid, but rather an opportunity to liberate yourself. It encourages you to confront the things that scare you and uncover their origins. Behind fear, there is immense transformative power, and only by facing it, can you achieve deeper awareness and freedom. Again, fear. Jesus Christ, I'm sorry. And fear is holding you back from tapping in, or fully tapping in. Okay, so put the fear down and pick up the confidence. Okay, I used to lack a lot of confidence when it comes to my gifts. I used to think like, no, I'm delusional. But you know, you have to believe in yourself. Fear as well. I believe that demons and angels are frequencies, vibrations, yeah. Spirits nonetheless, but they're frequencies. They're also state of minds. They're many forms of many things. So when you reside in a state of fear, you attract darkness, okay? Energies that will try and pull you away. And fear in itself is an energy of not doing, you know. And 9 times out of 10, you put that energy there yourself through your subconscious. You could be the most confident person on the planet, but your subconscious knows more than you do. Alright? So yeah, do the work. Okay? Thank you. Bye bye.